Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another exciting art journal video. Again today I'm playing with the new Dina Wakley January 2022 release, and I am just creating a text collage paper using some of the text stamps on the Moments stamp set, sorry, can't speak, and the She Is Wise stamp set as well. So what I'm doing is just adding those stamps onto an acrylic block and then just stamping them onto this collage tissue paper. So the blank collage tissue paper came from a set that they're now selling, about 50 sheets in a bulk set of the blank collage tissue paper. It is a really useful thing to have. There's so many things that you can do with it, so it is great that it's now coming in a bigger pack. So once I've got lots of text onto there, I'm then using some matte gel medium and gluing that down all over one page. I love how it sticks down. It doesn't have any wrinkles in or anything. It's just lovely. It's so smooth and satisfying. And then I'm going in with some rainbow colours. So I'm using ruby, tangerine, lemon, lime, turquoise, blackberry and magenta, and just using a slightly wet brush to blend where the colours meet. Oh geez, been a long day today, sorry. Where the colours meet, just to help those blend a little bit more. So I am washing my brush and just drying off the excess water in between. So then before that was dry, I'm using the Mosaic Cobblestone stencil and just using a baby wipe to remove some of the paint through the stencil. So it's a great way to get some pattern into your background. So then I'm using the Sprouts masks, and I'm going to be using the actual mask from the stencil set, and I'm going to be using some black paint and adding these images onto this page. So because I'm going to be adding more than one, I'm kind of arrange them first and then very carefully holding them in place. They are so lovely, these little images. Really cool, look at that. So I'm just creating like a kind of like a little bunch, I suppose, here, a collection using these, and I'm just carefully holding them in place while I stencil the black paint over the top. I say black paint, of course you know that if you watch my channel that I actually use black gesso rather than acrylic paint. So then what I'm going to do here is just cut these out. So I'm using my usual craft knife that is called the Model Craft Collection, and it's a scalpel set. It comes with lots of spare blades, and they are really sharp and they're great. And the secret that I find with doing cutouts is just to turn your book, or whatever it is that you're cutting out, just keep turning it and do a little bit at a time. Take your time, don't rush, and you'll be really surprised at what you can achieve cutting out images. You'll be able to cut out much more complex images than you actually think you can. So I'm carefully going round this flower and cutting this one out, and I'm going to save these little cutout pieces as well. As they started popping out of the page, I loved the colours that were on them, so I will be using these on another page too, and I may well do a page with a dark background so that these are again a great contrast on there. So then I was deciding what I was going to do next, and I decided I would put some acetate behind the cutouts. So I've stamped some text onto there, and then I'm just using my double-sided tape dispenser gun, sticking some tape onto the page, and then I'm going to pop the acetate over the top. So I'm just chopping it down a little bit and then just putting it in place. Okay, so now you can see the little bit of text through, and then I had a lot of deliberation about what I was going to do with it next. I wanted to be able to see through it, so there was no point sticking anything to the other side. So I decided to add some clear gesso and then use the masks and put them over the cutouts and stencil over them. So what this was going to do was fill in the places where you could see the double-sided tape through the acetate. It would mean that then this would act as a window. So obviously the paint will scrape off if you aren't careful, but I'm not really bothered about that. It adds more interest, more texture. If that does happen, it happens, but this was a quick way that I could think of to make it so that you could still see through this page, but you couldn't see all the double-sided tape on the back. The only other way that I could think to do it is to cut out another identical page and stick it over so that you've still got the cutouts to peep through. And then once it was dry, and then outlining with a white gel pen. So the reason I used the clear gesso was to give the acetate a bit of tooth, which meant that the paint would stick to it a bit better, because otherwise it's just really shiny and the paint would probably just bead up. So that did work really, really well, and it also meant that the white gel pen stuck to it really well too. It was really easy to outline those shapes. So then I'm just using some white dots with a Posca pen, and just putting those around the bottom of the page, and then adding some too with the Signo Uniball white pen. This is something that's really easy to get carried away doing. And then once I'd finished adding the dots, I decided that I would also outline the images on this page as well. So I'm just going loosely round these cutouts that I did, and just really this just helps to pop them out a little bit more from the page, giving them a bit more definition. So again, I'm just using the same gel pen here. And then I'm using a stamp from the Moments stamp set, which I had stamped onto craft paper the other day and decided not to use because I decided to use the one that was on white paper. So I've just stuck this onto white just to give it a little background and a border, just so that it will stand out a little bit more, and then sticking that in place. And I'm going to use the other part of the quote on the back of the page. And these ones I'm not going to bother sticking onto white first, I'm just going to pop them straight on to the page because they work quite well against the black. And that really is about it for this page. So I'm really enjoying playing with these new Dina Wakley January 2022 release things. It's very exciting getting new stuff to play with. So come back again tomorrow to see another video where I will be playing with these exciting things. And thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this cutout page and this video, and hope to see you again soon.